All right, get ready, because today we're going deep into a world that might seem familiar.
But trust me.
There's a whole lot more to snakes and the sounds they make.
Yeah, a lot more going on than meets the eye.
We're talking snake sounds.
Fascinating stuff.
You've heard that hiss, right?
Oh, yeah, the class.
Sends chills down your spine.
Definitely makes you think twice.
Makes you think twice about getting too close, but
For sure.
did you ever think about what else might be happening in that soundscape?
It's wild.
It's a lot more complex.
Way more.
And honestly, way cooler than you might think.
Yeah, you might be surprised.
So today we're going to unpack all of that.
Sounds good.
Starting with the sounds themselves.
Okay.
How do they even make noise?
Well, that's a great question.
I thought snakes didn't have vocal cords.
You're right. They don't.
Okay.
They don't have vocal cords like we do.
Uh-huh.
But they've evolved some pretty incredible ways to produce sound using their bodies and their surroundings.
I see.
Of course, there's the famous hiss,
Yeah, the hiss.
which is basically a forced exhale.
Okay.
Air pushed out through a small opening in their throat called the glottis.
So just forcing air out.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's all about creating that vibration.
That makes sense for the hiss.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing there's more to the story, right?
Oh, there's definitely more.
More than just a hiss.
Much more. Think about it.
Yeah,
If you were a snake slithering through tall grass or a dense forest,
right.
relying only on what you could see,
Yeah,
wouldn't be very
it'd
effective.
be pretty tough.
That's where low-frequency sounds come in.
Low frequency sounds.
Yeah,
So it's something we can't even hear.
exactly.
What's the advantage of that?
Well, imagine you're a snake trying to communicate with another snake across a crowded forest floor.
Okay, yeah.
High-pitched sounds would get lost in the clutter,
It would just get
absorbed by all the vegetation.
Makes sense.
But low-frequency sounds, those are the ones that can travel farther,
Hmm.
even through the ground. Yeah, they're like secret messages bypassing all the obstacles.
So it's like they have their own private communication channel.
Exactly.
Cool.
It's fascinating.
What kind of things are they talking about?
Well, it depends on the species and the situation.
Okay.
Some snakes use these low-frequency rumbles, almost like growls, to establish territory.
Hmm.
Others might use them to attract mates,
Oh, interesting.
or even to warn off potential predators.
to scare them off.
It's all about survival using sound to navigate their world and interact with other creatures.
So these low frequency sounds are like their secret weapon.
In a way, yes.
Wow, it's amazing how much we underestimate the power of sound.
It's true.
And it makes you wonder how these sounds play into the whole ecosystem.
That's a great point.
Right.
Snakes aren't just solitary creatures.
Yeah.
They're essential parts of many ecosystems.
Oh, for sure.
Their sounds are crucial for maintaining balance, regulating populations,
Uh-huh.
and contributing to biodiversity. Remember those low-frequency rumbles we talked about?
Yeah, the ones we can't hear.
Exactly. They can be intimidating to larger predators, acting like a natural defense mechanism.
So like a built-in security system.
Pretty much.
I like it.
And on the flip side, those same sounds can help snakes locate and even manipulate their prey.
Whoa, so it's like a hunting tool too.
It is.
That's incredible.
It's all about using sound to their advantage.
So it's not just about hissing to scare us.
Nope.
It's a whole intricate dance of sounds, keeping the delicate balance of nature in check.
You got it.
Wow, you've officially convinced me that snake sounds are way more important than I ever realized.
I'm glad to hear that.
But you also mentioned something about human history and even medicine being connected to these sounds.
Right.
That's where I'm getting really curious.
Okay, yeah.
Where do we fit into all of this?
Well, snakes have held a powerful place in human cultures for centuries, often symbolizing wisdom, power, and even healing. And their sounds played a huge part in shaping those perceptions.
Really?
Think about the cobra in ancient Egypt, revered as a symbol of royalty.
Okay.
That iconic hiss wasn't just a sound.
It was more than that.
It was thought to have a divine connection imbued with power and meaning.
That's fascinating.
It is.
It makes you realize how something as simple as a hiss can become deeply ingrained in a culture's beliefs and symbolism.
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's a powerful example of how sound can shape our understanding of the world.
And it wasn't just ancient civilizations, right?
Nope, not at all.
Okay.
Many indigenous cultures around the world believe in the magical or medicinal power of snake sounds.
Really? Like what?
Take the rattlesnake, for example.
Okay, the rattlesnake?
Its rattle wasn't just a warning.
There was more to it.
It was seen as a source of power,
Power, huh?
used in healing ceremonies and rituals.
So the sound itself became part of the healing practice.
Exactly.
That's pretty incredible.
It really is.
And I guess that leads us to modern medicine, right?
You got it.
Okay, so where do snakes and their sounds fit into modern medicine?
Well, snake venom, which is closely linked in their physiology and even their sound production, plays a crucial role in modern medicine.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
Did you know that the drug captopril, used to treat high blood pressure and heart failure,
No.
was actually developed from the venom of the Brazilian pit viper?
Seriously.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
From ancient rituals to life-saving medications.
It's a fascinating journey.
It's like snake sounds and their venom have been woven into the fabric of human history.
They certainly have, and the story doesn't end there.
There's more.
In fact, scientists are currently exploring the connection between snake sounds and their venom in ways that could revolutionize medicine.
Okay, now you've really got my attention.
All right.
Tell me more about this cutting-edge research.
Happy to.
What's the connection between sound and venom?
It all comes down to bioacoustics, the study of how sound waves interact with living organisms.
Bioacoustics.
Researchers are discovering that certain low-frequency vibrations produced by snakes can actually influence the potency and delivery of their venom.
Wait, so you're saying that the sound a snake makes could actually affect how its venom works?
That's right.
That's wild.
Think about it. These low-frequency sounds are vibrations.
Right.
And those vibrations can travel through various mediums, including liquids. So it's not too far-fetched to imagine them influencing the molecular structure of venom.
I see.
Or how it's released and dispersed.
Okay, I'm starting to see where this is going.
Good.
But what are the potential implications of this research? Are we talking about more effective antivenom? New ways to treat diseases?
The potential is enormous.
Wow.
Imagine harnessing the power of those sound waves to create more targeted treatments for all sorts of conditions, from venomous bites to chronic pain, maybe even neurological disorders.
This is seriously mind-blowing.
It is pretty remarkable.
So we've got snakes influencing ecosystems, shaping ancient beliefs.
Yeah.
And now potentially revolutionizing medicine.
It's incredible.
What else have they impacted?
Well, let's not forget about their influence on art, literature, and even music.
Oh, right. Snakes and their sounds. I bet they have slithered their way into our cultural expressions.
They have for as long as we've been telling stories and making art.
That makes sense. I mean,
yeah.
The snake's hiss is such a primal sound, it's almost impossible not to react to it.
It's true.
It's like it's hardwired into our brains.
It really is.
Right.
Think about the serpent in the Garden of Eden, a symbol of temptation and knowledge.
Right, right.
Or the countless stories and myths where snakes represent danger, wisdom, or transformation.
Yeah.
That hiss, that rattle, they become powerful storytelling tools, evoking a whole range of emotions and associations.
It's true.
Right.
And what about music?
Oh, absolutely.
Have snakes made their way into that world too?
The rattlesnake's tail battle, for example, has been a source of inspiration for both indigenous and modern musical instruments.
Interesting.
It's that visceral percussive sound that evokes primal fear and energy.
Wow, so even when we're not consciously thinking about it,
Yeah.
those snake sounds are shaping our artistic
Those
experiences.
really are.
That's pretty incredible.
It is.
But I'm really curious to know more about how scientists are using these sounds for conservation.
That's a great question.
Right.
It's an exciting area of research that holds a lot of promise for protecting threatened snake species.
Okay, I'm all ears.
All right.
Tell me how this works.
Think of it as eavesdropping on the snakes.
Eavesdropping, huh?
But in a good way.
Okay.
Researchers are strategically placing audio recorders in key habitats to capture the unique soundscape of endangered snake species.
Wait, so they're basically recording the snakes' conversations?
You could say that.
What kind of information can they get from that?
A lot, actually.
Really? Was what?
By analyzing these recordings, scientists can track the movements of individual snakes,
Wow.
monitor population trends, and even identify areas where conservation efforts are most needed.
So it's like having a real-time map of where the snakes are and how they're doing, all without disturbing their natural behavior.
Exactly.
That's pretty ingenious.
It is a powerful tool.
But I'm curious, how do researchers actually capture and make sense of all those sounds in the wild?
That's where the power of technology comes here.
Okay.
They use sophisticated software to analyze the recorded sounds, identifying specific patterns and frequencies associated with different snake species.
So they can tell which snake is making which sound just by listening to the recording.
That's right. It's like having an acoustic fingerprint for each type of snake.
That's amazing.
Pretty cool, huh?
What else can they learn from these recordings?
It's not just about identifying the species.
Okay.
By comparing recordings from different locations, and over time, scientists can track the movements of individual snakes, monitor population trends, and even identify areas where conservation efforts are most needed. And by analyzing the subtle variations in their calls, researchers can learn about their breeding cycles, social interactions, and even how they respond to environmental changes.
Wow.
It's a gold mine of information for conservationists.
So we can use their sounds to learn about their lives.
Exactly.
And ultimately help protect them.
That's the goal.
It's like we're finally starting to tune into the secret world of snakes and use that knowledge to protect them.
I like that analogy.
This is seriously inspiring.
It is pretty amazing what we're learning.
It makes you realize how much we still have to learn about the natural world
For sure.
and the incredible ways that sound connects us to it.
Absolutely.
It's like a whole other language we're just beginning to understand. It's
Exactly.
like a whole other language we're just beginning to understand.
Exactly.
Before the break, we were talking about using snake sounds for conservation.
Right.
It's amazing to think we can actually use their own communication
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
to help protect them.
It really is a game changer for conservation efforts.
And it's not just about protecting endangered species, is it?
No, not at all.
This kind of bioacoustic monitoring can also be applied in other areas.
Definitely.
Like agriculture.
Exactly.
Oh, that's interesting. So how are farmers using snake sounds?
Well, imagine you're a farmer
Okay.
trying to protect your crops.
From pests.
From rodents, yeah.
Right,
Traditionally, you might use pesticides,
right, which can be harmful.
but those can have negative impacts on the environment and other wildlife.
Right, so what's the alternative?
Well, some farmers are experimenting with using recorded snake sounds
Okay,
as a natural rodent deterrent.
that's brilliant. So instead of poisoning the rodents, they're using sound to scare them away.
Exactly.
Pleasure.
Rodents have a natural fear of snakes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So by playing recordings of snake sounds in their fields,
Makes sense.
farmers can create an environment that's less appealing to these pests.
Wow, so it's like a natural pest control system.
It is. It's a non-toxic, eco-friendly approach that's showing promising results.
That's a win-win for everyone except maybe the rodents.
Right.
But you mentioned other applications too, even in human health.
Yes.
I'm really curious about that.
Okay.
What's the connection there?
This is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
There's research being done on the potential therapeutic benefits of snake sounds.
Hold on, are we talking about snake sound therapy?
In a way, yes.
What kind of benefits are we talking about?
It's still early days.
Okay.
But some studies suggest that certain frequencies, particularly those in the low-frequency range,
The ones we can't even hear.
right, those can have calming or pain-relieving effects on humans.
Really? I never would have guessed that.
Think about it, we're constantly surrounded by sound,
That's true.
and our bodies are incredibly sensitive to vibrations.
Yeah.
It's not too far-fetched to imagine that certain sounds could have a positive impact on our physical and mental well-being.
That's a fascinating thought.
It is, isn't it?
It makes you wonder about all the subtle ways that sound influences us on a daily basis.
Exactly.
So how are these snake sounds being used therapeutically?
Well, some therapists are already experimenting with using recorded snake sounds
Okay.
to help patients with anxiety or chronic pain.
So instead of prescribing medication, they're prescribing snake sounds.
It's not quite that simple,
Right.
but it is an emerging field.
It sounds incredible, but I'm also a little skeptical.
I understand.
Is there any scientific evidence to back this up?
It's definitely an emerging field, and more research is needed to fully understand the mechanisms at play
Sure.
and the long-term effects.
Right.
But some initial studies have shown promising results,
Okay.
suggesting that certain snake sounds
Yeah.
can trigger a relaxation response in the body similar to what you might experience during meditation or deep breathing exercises.
Wow, that's really intriguing.
It is.
It makes you wonder what other secrets we might uncover about the healing power of sound.
Absolutely. We're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
So you're saying there's a chance that listening to snake sounds could actually help people feel better?
The research suggests that it's a possibility.
That's wild.
It highlights the importance of staying open to new ideas and exploring the interconnectedness of all things,
Right?
including the seemingly strange connection between snake sounds and human health.
Okay, I'm officially on board with the idea of exploring snake sounds for therapy.
Good.
But before we get too carried away, I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier.
Okay.
The potential of snake sounds in treating serious diseases like cancer.
Right.
Can you tell me more about that?
Of course.
What's the connection there?
Remember how we talked about the connection between sound wave and venom potency?
Yeah.
Well, researchers are now investigating whether certain frequencies
Uh-huh.
could actually be used to manipulate venom properties,
Okay.
potentially making them more effective at targeting and destroying cancer cells.
This sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie.
It does sound pretty futuristic.
Are you saying that sound waves could be used to enhance the power of venom
That's the idea.
and turn it into a weapon against cancer?
It's definitely an area of cutting-edge research, and there are still many unknowns.
Right.
But the idea is that by exposing venom to specific sound frequencies,
Okay.
we might be able to alter its molecular structure or enhance its ability to target cancer cells while leaving healthy cells unharmed.
So instead of using chemotherapy or radiation, which can have debilitating side effects, we could potentially use sound waves to deliver targeted doses of venom directly to the tumor.
That's the long-term goal.
Wow.
And it's a truly exciting prospect.
This is groundbreaking stuff.
It is.
It makes you realize the incredible potential that lies hidden within nature,
It does.
just waiting to be discovered and harnessed for good.
Exactly, and it reminds us of the interconnectedness of all things.
Right.
Who would have thought that something as seemingly simple as sound could hold the key to unlocking new treatments for some of the most devastating diseases?
It really is mind-blowing.
It is pretty remarkable.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's ground this back in reality for a moment.
Okay.
What are the biggest challenges facing researchers in this field?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is understanding the precise mechanisms by which sound waves interact with venom molecules.
Right.
It's a complex process that involves physics, chemistry, and biology.
Got it.
We need to identify the specific frequencies that have the desired effect
Uh-huh.
and figure out how to deliver those frequencies in a targeted and controlled way.
So there's still a lot of work to be done before we see snake sound therapy for cancer in clinics.
Yes, that's true.
But it sounds like the potential benefits are worth pursuing.
Absolutely. The early research is promising,
Yeah.
and the potential impact on human health is enormous.
Yep.
It's definitely a field to watch in the coming years.
It's amazing to think that something we might find scary or unsettling,
Yeah,
like snakes and their sounds,
right.
could actually hold the key to improving our lives in such profound ways.
It's a powerful reminder that nature often holds the answers we're looking for.
I completely agree.
We just need to be open to exploring them.
It's amazing to think that something we might find scary or unsettling,
Yeah.
like snakes and their sounds,
Right.
could actually hold the key to improving our lives in such profound ways.
It's a powerful reminder that nature often holds the answers we're looking for.
I completely agree.
We just need to be open to exploring them.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We've been on quite a journey exploring this incredible world of snake sounds, and
It has been fascinating.
honestly, my mind is blown.
I know, right?
I never realized just how complex and impactful these sounds really are,
It's amazing.
both in the natural world and in our own lives.
It really is.
It's like we've peeled back the curtain on a secret world,
a hidden language.
a world where sound plays a vital role.
Absolutely.
in communication.
It is healing.
Exactly, as we've discovered that hiss,
Yeah.
it's just the beginning.
There's a whole symphony of sounds out
A
there,
whole symphony.
just waiting to be heard and understood.
And the more we learn,
Yeah,
the more we realize how interconnected we really are with the natural world.
it's true.
Even with creatures that might seem strange or even frightening at first,
Snakes have a bad rap,
they do.
but they're incredible creatures.
Absolutely. I think about all the ways snake sounds have shaped our perception.
Oh, for
From
sure.
ancient myths and rituals
Right.
to modern art and music.
It's all connected.
They've been woven into the fabric of human culture for centuries.
And now they're leading us to groundbreaking discoveries in science and medicine.
It's a testament to the power of curiosity and the importance of staying open to new ideas.
Couldn't agree more.
Who would have thought that listening to snakes could lead to breakthroughs in treating cancer?
Or chronic pain,
It's incredible to think about.
isn't it? It makes you wonder
It does?
what other secrets nature holds, what other possibilities are out there just waiting to be discovered.
If we just take the time to listen.
Exactly.
Imagine the potential for new medicines, new therapies, new ways of understanding and interacting with the world around us.
The possibilities are endless.
It's truly inspiring.
It is,
But it also makes you realize the importance of conservation.
for sure.
As we continue to encroach on natural habitats,
Yeah.
we risk losing not only these incredible creatures,
Right.
but also the valuable knowledge they hold.
Absolutely. Protecting biodiversity is crucial.
It is,
Not just for the sake of the planet, but also for the future of humanity.
right?
Who knows what other life-saving discoveries might be hidden within the intricate soundscapes of the natural world.
It's a sobering thought.
Yeah, it is.
We have a responsibility to protect these ancient voices
We do.
and ensure they continue to be heard for generations to come.
I agree.
So the next time you hear a snake,
Yeah.
whether in the wild,
Or even just in your imagination.
take a moment to truly listen.
Good advice.
Beyond the hiss,
Beyond the red,
there's a world of sound waiting to be explored.
a whole universe of sound.
And on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into this fascinating world of snake sounds.
It's been a pleasure.
I hope you've enjoyed this journey as much as we have.
It's been a fascinating exploration.
Until next time, remember to keep your ears open and your curiosity piqued.
Stay curious out there.
There's always more to discover in the grand symphony of nature.
Absolutely.
And who knows, you might even find yourself listening to the world in a whole new way.